Good morning, students. Today we will start Unit 3. So yesterday we have completed Unit 2, which was consisting of various topics like class, constructor, and operator overloading. In Unit 3, we will discuss about inheritance. That is the most important feature of object-oriented programming. So we need to discuss what is inheritance. Actually, inheritance means you have done something earlier and that you want to reuse. Right. So whenever you are going to reuse the characteristics, that is inheritance. That is very similar that let's suppose your father has purchased a house and you are going to use it. That is inheritance. So when a class is going to acquire the property of some another class is called inheritance. Now, the capability of a class to derive properties and characteristics from another class is called inheritance. Inheritance is one of the most important feature of object-oriented programming. Now, there are two things. A class which is going to acquire the property and the class from which we are going to acquire the property. So, if you will look the picture, you are seeing class A and class B. So here, by looking this diagram, we can easily identify that there are two classes, class A and class B. Class B is going to acquire the property of a class A. Now, class A is known as base class, or this is also known as superclass, or this is also known as parent class. So class A is defined as a base class, superclass, and parent class. Means the class from which we are acquiring the property is known as superclass, base class, or parent class. And the class which is acquiring the properties. Now in this diagram, class B. The class which is acquiring the properties is known as derived class, subclass, or child class. So there are two things, base class, parent class, and superclass from which you are deriving the property. And the class which is deriving is known as derived class, child class, and subclass. Now, what is the need of this inheritance? Let's take an example. Consider a group of vehicles. You need to create classes for bus, truck, and car. Now, there are some methods which will common for all the three classes, like fuel amount, capacity, apply brakes will be same for all the three classes. If we create these classes avoiding inheritance, then we have to write all of these functions in each of the three class as shown in the below figure. So you are looking, there are three class in the given figure and three methods is defined in every class. Now what could be the advantage of inheritance? We will create this three method in one class and then we will inherit it in all the three classes. We do not need to make it again and again and again. So you can clearly see that the above process results in duplication of same code three times. This increases the chances of error and data redundancy. What is the meaning of redundancy? Redundancy means duplicacy. To avoid this type of situation, inheritance is used. If we create a class vehicle and write these three functions in it and inherit the rest of the classes from the vehicle class, then we can simply avoid the duplication of data and increase reusability. So you can see the diagram. I have created a class vehicle which is containing these three methods: fuel amount, capacity, and apply brake. Now class bus is inheriting the class vehicle, means all the three methods will automatically come here. Now again, class car is inheriting the class vehicle. All the three methods will also come inside the class car, and the class truck is inheriting the class vehicle. All the methods defined inside class vehicle class will be inherited in class truck also. Now, there are five kind of inheritance supported by C++. These are single inheritance, multiple inheritance, hierarchical inheritance, multi-level inheritance, and hybrid inheritance. Now we need to discuss one by one about all. As its name implies, single inheritance. When a single class is acquired, the property of one class is known as single inheritance. So One-to-one inheritance. When a class like parent and child, father and son. So father is a single class, son is a single class, son is acquiring the property of a father, that is a single inheritance. So if a single class is derived from one base class, this is called single inheritance. In C++, base and derived class exhibit one-to-one relationship. What is multiple inheritance? As its name implies, multiple. So multiple base classes and one derived class. So when you are going to acquire the property of more than one base class, like mother, father, there are two classes and there is a class child, which is acquiring the property of both mother and father. Hierarchical inheritance. When several classes are derived from common base class, just reverse the multiple inheritance. In multiple inheritance, what you did? More than one base class and one derived class. But in hierarchical inheritance, there is one base class and multiple derived class. Like a father has three sons. So all the three sons are acquiring the property of a father. So when several classes are derived from common base class, it is called hierarchical inheritance. In C++, hierarchical inheritance, the feature of the base class is inherited onto more than one subclass. So here you are looking in the given picture, class A is a base class. There is another class, class B, which is acquiring the property of class A. There is a class C, which is also acquiring the property of class A. And there is a class D, which is also acquiring the property of a class A. So that is a hierarchical. So for remembering all the things, you just remember a hierarchical is just opposite of multiple. So in multiple inheritance, multiple base class, one derived class. In hierarchical inheritance, one base class, multiple derived class. Multi-level inheritance. So multi-label, as its name suggests, multiple labels are present like grandfather, father, child, his child, and so on, so on, so on. So this label can extend to any label. So if a class is derived from another derived class, look at this meaning. Here class A is a base class and class C is a derived class. What about class B? So class B serves as a base class for class C and serves as a derived class for class A. So class B is also known as intermediate base class. So here in the definition it is written, if a class is derived from another derived class. So you are looking here, class B is already a derived class which derived from class A. Now, if a class is derived from another derived class, in the picture you are seeing class C is inheriting the feature of class B. Now, this is derived from another derived class. So in C++ multi-level inheritance, a class has more than one parent class is known as multi-level inheritance. What is the meaning of hybrid? Look, hybrid has no particular definition. When you are going to combine two or more kind of inheritance to solve a particular problem. So when you are going to combine two or more kind of inheritance, any two or more kind of inheritance to solve a single problem is known as hybrid inheritance. The inheritance in which the derivation of a class involves more than one form of any inheritance. So in C++, hybrid inheritance is a combination of two or more type of inheritance. It can also be called multipath inheritance. Now, what is a syntax of inheritance? So you are looking in the given code, there is a class person. Now there is a class math teacher. For inheriting, what you need to do, you need to use colon, then private or public, and then base class name. Now we'll explain everything, what is private, what is public, why we are writing it. So syntax is what? Class, derived class name, colon, access specifier, that will be private or public, and then the base class name. When you will write the property of class person will get inherited in class math teacher. Now there is another class footballer which also wants to inherit the feature of class person. Again you are writing colon public person. Now tell me which kind of inheritance this is. One base class, multiple derived class. So this is an example of hierarchical inheritance. Now we have seen that a class can be inherited by using two ways, either privately or publicly. So either you can inherit the class privately or you can inherit the class publicly. Now the question arises, when we inherit a class, does everything get inherited? No. Always remember, the private member of the class can never be inherited, cannot be inherited. If I have not tell anything to anyone, let's suppose your grandfather has given some money to, has given borrow to someone and he didn't tell to anyone. And let's suppose my grandfather has given some borrow amount to someone and he passed away. Now can I get it? No, because I don't know. He has not discussed with anyone. So whatever defined private inside a class cannot be inherited in any case. So one thing that you have to put in your mind, that the whatever the defined inside the class as a private can never be inherited. The private member of a class cannot be inherited. Only public members can be inherited. So the first point is written, the private member of the base class cannot be inherited in any case. Only public members can be inherited. Now, public member you can inherit by two ways, either privately or publicly. When you are going to inherit the public member privately, it becomes private in the derived class. Very simple. First, I have told that private member cannot be inherited in any case. Now, when you are going to inherit the public member of a base class privately, it becomes private in the derived class. And when you are going to inherit the public members of a base class publicly, it becomes public in the derived class. Repeating, private will not get inherited in any case. Only public member of a class can be inherited. Now, public member can be inherited by two ways, either privately or publicly. When you are going to inherit the public member privately in derived class, it becomes private in the derived class. And when you are going to inherit the public member publicly, it becomes public in the derived class. So listen this slide 2, 3, 4 times. Try to understand. I'm not going to discuss too much about inheritance today. So in the next session, we'll see practically how to inherit and what will be the result when we'll inherit. How it will reduce the coding, how it will reduce the redundancy of data. Everything we'll see in the next class. Thank you very much for today. Thank you.